Hey guys, welcome to another episode of A Pitch Mates, episode 2, right here with myself, John B, and my partner in crime, Vic, your boy. He doesn't know his name. This guy, apparently everyone knows who he is, your boy. So I'm going to say, yo boy, how's it going?
I'm doing great. Obviously, we're joined by a coach.
Yeah, man, a coach. Apparently he's going to give us lessons.
He gives me lessons in FIFA. So.
Yeah, let's go there. Let's not go there right away. I want to say, hey man, Ashley Ludick, how you doing, bro?
All good. Delighted to be here, guys. Thanks for having me on the show.
Yeah, man, it's so good to have you here. We've been threatening since last season, Vic. We've been threatening. Yeah, we've got to get Ash on. And all of a sudden, we thought, you know what, new season,
new everything. So we have to come with the bang.
I like the way he says that. That's what Ashley does to all of us in FIFA. But anyway, right, Ashley, you are here on the show with us. Before we even get into what's going to happen on the show, let's give us a brief introduction. I know you are the coach for Sibanya FC, one of the teams there, as well as Linkside.
Yes.
Am I correct? Tell us a little bit more about Sibanya FC. What is the role there? Where you guys at the moment?
Okay, so first of all, thanks for having me. Like I said, guys,
awesome,
my name is Ashley. I go by Coach Ash in the coaching circles.
We're gonna call him out on FIFA now.
Yeah, Coach Ash.
Sibanya FC. So we're currently in the northern areas, first division.
Okay.
Unfortunately, got relegated last season out of the Premier League due to some administration or whatever the issue were.
Yep.
But a lot of players ended up leaving. So in this possible moment, it's a rebuild. Similar to Liverpool, where we had some guys go and now we need to rebuild again.
Fantastic.
I'm the head coach of the under 17 boys team.
Okay.
I took over approximately 4 months ago. So the season was still on, about 4 or 5 games into the season.
Yeah.
I met up with the club secretary. We had a chat, we had a sit down, and our goals aligned.
Nice.
And that's why I chose to go to Sibanya FC. Some good boys there, living in a not so good area, but that makes it all worth it. Makes us even more determined at the club to ensure that we keep the boys motivated to come to training, come to games, keep them off the streets.
Yeah, that's the most important thing I was actually waiting for you to say, because I mean, Vic and myself have been mentioning local football. We really want to get more invested into it, give the listeners and the viewers out there a little bit more insight as to how football is, in
Because
areas.
I think a lot of people just know like outside European football and all that. They don't know what local football is. Like I like to say local tiski.
Yeah.
Because that's what we know, local tiski.
Or you call the farmer league. You call them, Vic. Don't mention it like that. We're not going to go there yet. All right, that's what he does. This is Vic. He throws the shade on everybody, even me. Obviously, Sibanya FC, you guys are now, like you say, you dropped down one division as well. How has the restructure been? Like, have you guys managed to, try and lure new players in? How's that process been for you as a coach?
Definitely one of the hardest moments in my coaching career, because all the other previous clubs that I've been to, already been structured, everything taken care of. So always a new challenge when you have players that necessarily they want to follow the friends to the new club, and you have to play the motivating position, and you have to make sure that all of them they're there and they want to be there for the club. And that's something that's actually new for me, because like I said, I've never been in that situation. But as a club, the chairman as well, he's invested in the club. So as long as the hierarchy, they want to be there, and so that's what the players also need to look at, We're trying to make something happen for them. And I think the group of guys that we have now, we actually just beat the log leaders of the Premier League in the knockout.
Fantastic.
So the guys, they starting to get on board. There's still a long season. First round just ended, I think, last weekend or 2 weeks ago. So there's still around 10, 12 weeks of football before the end of the year.
Sure.
So it's something for us that we need to look forward to, make sure, the ups and downs of the season. As we say, it's amateur clubs, so there's a lot of things, petrol and transportation, all those things. We need to make sure we take care of the players. We don't necessarily have a bunch of guys that are, what you call them, brats or anything like that. They just want the basic things. Take care of them, make sure the grass is cut.
There's no divas there.
No divas, nothing at the club.
No Lukaku's, no Fernandes. Yeah, it's good to hear. It's good to hear it, man. I like the fact that you're coaching a school team.
Yes.
Right. So Linkside, tell us more about that journey so far and how long you've been there.
So Linkside I started last year.
Okay.
Linkside. A friend of mine, Luto Tesha, I know Vic knows him.
Yeah.
I'm working together in retail.
Mm.
One day he couldn't make it to the game. So he called me, and on this particular day I was at home. Actually, I was also off work.
Yeah.
So he called me, he's like, Ash, we're playing a game today, and I had to come into work. Is there no way that you can come stand in for me just for today? I don't know where Linkside is. I don't know anything. I'm like, how am I gonna get there? He's like, no, don't worry, I'll sort you out. He sends a voucher. I run off to Spa, withdraw the voucher. I'm in the taxi taking directions from him. He's like, no, take a taxi to Green Acres, the mall, NPE. Go down to Green Acres. He's like, no, you have to walk this way and walk that way. Eventually, I do get to the school, thankfully in time. So I get at the school, I meet the sports coordinator, introduce myself. He's like, okay, you're the coach. Sure. This, that, and the other. I get to the field. The Luther doesn't tell me this is the biggest game of the year for the school.
Fantastic, man.
This is the local derby game. He doesn't tell me that. I get there, there's approximately like 500 students around the field. It's like the biggest game. I have no idea what the players' names are, the positioning, all of these things, John. I'm calling Luther, I'm panicking. He's busy working. He's like, man, I'm busy packing things. I'm like, no, man. You need to tell me where do I need.
Man. You can't have this.
You need to tell me the starting lineup, all of these things. I had to channel my inner, TD Jakes, my inner motivator. We ended up winning the game 3-2, and afterwards the sports coordinator made contact with me. She said she wanted me part of the coaching staff.
Fantastic.
And I've been on Linkside. I started with the under 14s.
Yeah.
Played one game, managed one game. Got promoted to the under 15s. My good friend Luther got a promotion at work, so we unfortunately had to leave. Opened the door for me. The sports coordinator said no, she won't look for a coach outside, she'll promote me.
Brilliant.
Trusted me, so now I'm the under 16s coach since the beginning of this year.
Wow, man. Nice. That is fantastic. I like the fact that there's growth.
There's a come-up story.
Yeah, there's growth in it, and that kind of shares a message for people who are obviously looking to get into coaching first and foremost, but also the fact that there is hope for the youngsters in the northern areas especially, and also just in the Eastern Cape itself, that you can actually make a success out of playing football.
And in the Eastern Cape, there's a lot of people who want to play football.
Yes.
And there's a lot of clubs in Cape where you play, but they're not, they don't provide a lot of service.
I was going to ask him, does he know any of their names?
Yeah, Cali's, Highbury, and all those clubs.
One of my former teams, I used to play for Highbury actually.
Highbury is just one around the corner, right? But literally, like not even 2 kilometers away from us here. I thank you. I mean, we knew that you were a coach, but we never really knew how in detail, and the come up of your come up story it's quite impressive, man. It's really cool to listen to that.
Amazing school. The work culture, I say it at home all the time, Vic. I won't leave the school for any other school.
That's fantastic, man.
The work culture, the energy, the sports coordinator was Voges, my team manager, Kelly. The energy is there, positivity all the time. Doesn't matter if you lose one game, they'll be there supporting you all the way. You don't ever need to feel that, your position is...
Vic, I like the way you're just name dropping here, bro. That's respect. For all our listeners out there, viewers, yesterday was the opening and the beginning of the Premier League season. And I can tell you one thing. I know Ashley, Vic, myself, we are all excited. We've been chomping at the bit for the new season. I mean, Ashley, Arsenal supporter. I'm just going to put it out there. Arsenal supporter.
Our first
and Manchester City supporter. I am sitting back and going, round 1, fight!
Round 1,
but
fight!
Like I was saying, it wasn't a great game in terms of our game.
Vic missed the first 20 minutes, okay.
20, when I came back, it was 27, right?
Yeah.
It was boring. It was a boring match. Possession. It was obviously City's position. I didn't like the fact that we were just making passes, not moving inside. You had Stones coming back all the time, going to Ortega, which was weird. I don't like City starting out like that because they always start out like that. We get to 13th position.
I don't like we're sitting starting like that, but they've won 3 titles.
But
and every Community Shield, you've started like.
But look. We started off fresh.
Yeah.
Last season, we won a treble.
Yeah, you started off fresh by losing against us. Maybe that's inspired you.
That's what I'm saying.
Fucking inspired him
But
more.
we did in the Premier League. We started off fresh.
Yeah, we did.
Games,
Yeah, you did.
Winning games.
Do you think that the loss of 2 players has been a disruption, Vic?
Not really. I just think that Pep is just looking for other players and is just browsing around the team.
I think that Pep has been quite open to say that, you know, if the right player comes along, you'll buy them. He's not fully on the market, like, you know, putting his whole body out there and saying, take it, you know.
I don't think he's actively searching, and if something pops up, I think he will definitely go for that.
So that's your focus on Man City. You obviously watched the match as well.
Yes.
All right.
Start
So
to finish.
as an Arsenal supporter, first and foremost, congratulations.
Thank you.
You know,
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I know that City will say that it doesn't matter, but because they say it in 3 years after each other for losing. But I love giving him slack. So good. How did you see the match, like from an Arsenal perspective, or just from a coach perspective? What are your thoughts on the match?
Okay, from an Arsenal perspective, I think that we did well, especially from the beginning, containing Manchester. I won't lie, I thought that they will come out guns blazing.
Okay. I'll be honest with you, if I may just add something on there, I think that was the fact that we could see Arsenal was literally, they weren't pressing. You know, they pressed at the right times. Sometimes they should have pressed a little bit more, especially with those back passes, the little triangles they were doing in the back there. And it was the same move every single time. Isn't that something that could have changed and maybe changed the game earlier?
From a coaching perspective, Man City was setting traps, tactical traps, and that's how I was explaining to the people they were watching at my house. The reason why Otegi was pushing up, they wanted us to commit one of our forward players towards the keeper.
Making spaces.
I was shocked that Pep came out and played a double pivot, unlike him, but I saw that Ateta was prepared for it. We gave them the respect, didn't press the centre backs all the time. We definitely chose our moments, but I could see the trap that he was setting, Pep Guardiola, from a coaching perspective. So for me, it was tactically we were spot on, and that is why, especially before De Bruyne came on, they didn't do much, they didn't create much. From a tactical
I think that
perspective.
with KDB not actually having enough game time in pre-season, obviously because of his hamstring injury in the Champions League final. Yes, congratulations for winning the final. You know, we have to give you some kind of. Oh Jesus! Here we go. Hold on, camera. Can you fit his head in? So you know, I mean, obviously, you know, he hadn't played. He hasn't played since the final. He went off injured in the final. Wasn't as massive loss as we thought it would be at the time, because they still went on to win. But do you think that might have been, if he had like maybe 60 minutes in his legs, or at least 90 minutes in his legs before this match, that they would have probably brought him on at half time?
Yes.
And that could have changed the game a lot sooner.
Definitely. If you look at someone like that, someone I would love to have in one of my teams, by the way, De Bruyne, perfect
Just
midfielder.
anybody, you're our best midfielder in the world. Come on now.
Perfect midfielder. Someone for me who just, you know, you put him on the pitch. You don't give him instructions.
He'll tell you to shut up.
You don't. You let him do his thing. He will do his thing and he will create chances. Like when he came on, I was saying to the people at home, here we go. And after the goal, which Palmer scored, beauty by the way.
Palmer, brilliant goal, worldy man.
Worldy. I thought, here we go. Soon after Foden chance, I was thinking, that's it. We're not getting anything.
I think that, you know, watching the match on the live, and then, you know, just being a neutral as a sense, because I mean, obviously we weren't in the game, but I mean, obviously I support football, and I really wanted to see what challenges there would be, because yes, it's a pre-season Community Shield final kind of vibe, but a lot of the tactics that were used yesterday are some of the tactics we've seen in recent times, from both teams. Exactly. Now, my thing is that if you look at Arsenal and Havertz, I was going off my rocker yesterday, Havertz, bro. I felt like saying, you know what, your sweater's red, dude, not blue, because you are actually playing the same fucking game that you're playing for Chelsea. You just can't score. I mean, the man had chances.
We were feeding him.
So do you think that, I mean, I spoke to Vic about this on the live yesterday as well. I said, is it possible that Havertz is not going to be the main focus up front? He's more of that false nine, or just behind the striker kind of vibe where you can link and play. Is that something that you could look at as well? Definitely. I don't think he's the main focus for you guys.
I would say he's more of a hybrid player where he can fit in the 10 position. You can give him a free role, but obviously Odegaard is there, club captain.
Yeah, look, Odegaard had a game.
He always wants the ball, and as a coach, you want players that can take that responsibility. Want to take the ball, exactly. Now, my thing was, and we spoke about this yesterday in the game itself, with the team formations you guys are running, and the starting team that you guys had. When Havertz was having those few bad moments, I was literally saying, why not bring Nketiah on earlier, first and foremost, but also drop one of the midfielders. Partey wasn't having a great game. I must be honest. I think he was off the boil completely. Rice, fantastic. You can see why they paid 105 million for him. But really, there were questions around it. Definitely.
But I would have said, listen, drop Partey out. Take him off the game. He wasn't influencing the game at all. Maybe a defensively side of mind, yes. But I would have maybe brought on Trossard earlier as well. Okay. And actually brought in Rice on the right hand side and Odegaard through the middle. Okay. Just to mix it up a little bit, because I think Trossard and Martinelli on the left hand side, there would have been problems for them.
Definitely. For me, I would say someone like Partey, he can disappear in games. Then he pops up, makes a tackle or an interception. And
that head-on-head collision was something else. Jesus.
Yeah. It's his main game.
that was really something else.
An enforcer. Yes, man.
Rice, definitely. I was, like I said to you off the show or anything like that. I said to you when Xhaka left, I said to you, I'm scared that we're going to go back to the soft Arsenal, the soft belly in midfield.
Jesus, man, he was committed. Honestly.
That's what we need. And for me, like people say, it's a pre-season and all of those things. For me, I don't mind that. Just for us to show that, look, we can get one over these guys, We were ahead of them by so many points, and they just, flipped the switch.
They did the Man City thing, dude. I'm going to be honest, and I know you're sitting here smiling inside and going to laugh himself messed up right now. But this is what City do. City waits for the last 10 matches of the season, and all of a sudden they just trip the switch like this, and it's like, I don't care who we're playing, I'm just going to beat you.
Yes, definitely.
And the thing with Xhaka is, I did mention to John in the live, when Saka came out, took the ball inside, and it was Havertz, and he missed. If it was Xhaka, that was going to be goal.
Definitely.
Because he was going to fake, take it inside.
Yeah.
But,
even Jesus, if he was fit, you would have scored there as well. Especially the second chance that he had. My goodness.
I'm slightly concerned since Jesus is now injured again,
Yeah.
Apparently the rumor is Lukaku.
Rumor FC is here as well.
The rumor might be Lukaku might be coming your team soon.
Come on, man.
He knows how I feel. I don't know if he's trying to get me back for yesterday.
We all feel about Lukaku. I wouldn't even take him on a free.
Definitely not.
But it was a good game, to watch.
It was a tactical match, and I think that's what we all expected. We knew that.
Not expected, though.
I wasn't expecting City to run over Arsenal.
I wasn't expecting 8 minutes of 12.
Jesus, get over it, man.
Apparently, that's the new law.
I've been trying to tell you guys this. This is how it works now. Okay, so you get your injury time. So if you get a major injury in the game, yes, the time will be pointed onto it. But the referee has more right to let the game go on for another 10 minutes if he sees fit, because of whatever else has disrupted the match. Now, we saw that in the Euro. We've seen it now in the Women's World Cup as well, with Banyana obviously in their last match in the group stages. 15 minutes, where there was only 11 supposed to be, And I mean, that is a bit of a concern, but I don't know. Obviously, I think you would know the association head now, Howard Webb. Now we all know him as Mr. Man United.
There we go.
Alex Ferguson's pet.
Yeah.
And I say it as it is. That's what we do. I think that now that he's come from, I think he was at MLS now previously. He's now the FA's head of, I mean, the one thing that's really standing out, yes, that's the one thing. Bad timing. The timing thing is going to be a problem, I think. These players are equipped to play 50 plus matches a season. Now they're able to play 110 minutes a game.
Yes.
That alone, up here mentally, your psyche is going to be messed up. Firstly,
I saw an article online, and the journalist was speaking about how Liverpool might be one of the worst hit because they're in the Europa League.
yeah,
So
even
then-
more games.
More games, the travelling, we
Yeah.
all know it takes its toll. And now you're talking about adding 10 minutes per half
Yeah.
or something. So definitely the teams that are travelling more, it's gonna look the season. If it's 50 plus games mentally, I
My
myself would know.
concern, my one concern I mentioned to Vic yesterday on the show was, listen, I mean, you're going to have teams that have just come up. The Luton Towns.
Oh,
You give any team an extra 10 minutes or 20 minutes,
That's a
12
pressure.
minutes up against Luton Town, being 2-1 down, you're going to come back and win. Because I don't think they'll be, that they're not going to be ready for that.
Definitely.
The conditioning is not going to have, I don't think you'll be able to handle that extra 12, 13,
Definitely.
15 minutes a game. So that's almost an extra half of a half. It's an extra quarter of a match. I mean, that there alone. The other thing that really stands out to me is how tough they're going to be on the coach of managers. You saw Arteta get a yellow card yesterday just for saying this.
Yes.
Now, okay, fair enough. We all know who the culprits were for last season. One of us guilty. Roberto De Zerbi as well. One of those
how
who
many
were.
fines is going to pay now?
Well, apparently it's not even about fines these days. It's more
What is it?
more time on the touchline. They're just
Sure.
going to give you more time in the dugouts. You're going to be out of the dugout. Get a yellow card, get another yellow card.
Suspension.
It's going to be like players.
That is
I think it'll be exactly like
Yeah.
players. Where you get your yellow, and if you get like 3 or 5, you're banned for 5 matches on the touchline, probably. I don't know. We'll have to obviously look into that. It's just hearsay. I don't know if it's true, guys. So don't hold me to that. But that there is an indication that Hardware is there, because he will make sure that United win.
United for the league.
United for the league. Hashtag
Fergie time is back.
Fergie time,
Hashtag
Fergie time, my ass, man.
But
Yeah.
yes, I have some stats here with Arsenal
Yeah.
versus Man City.
Okay.
We had 8 shots. You guys had 7. We had 4 on target. You had 3. Obviously, possession was 55 for Man City.
I like the way he says obviously.
This
guy.
We got 11 fouls, which was insane. We had a lot of divers. I don't get how we got 11.
A lot of divers, yeah. Jack wasn't diving
You
as
guys
much.
got 3 yellow cards, which made a lot of sense.
Did it?
6 for 5 corners.
How many yellow cards did City get?
1.
One, I think.
Yeah. Let me just tell you something.
We're supposed to get a red card.
My dude, your team,
11 fouls, John.
fucking Rodri.
Yeah, we're supposed to get a red card. But
For one, that's the first time I can mention Rodri. What?
Thank you, John. Thank you.
it was a stress. It was 8 minutes, and the ref
I'm not
was
even talking
like,
about that
kept going.
one. I'm not even talking
Which
about
The
one
in
tackle.
in our box
Dude.
where he
Yeah, where he, you know what he did. Yeah, what did he do? Come on.
stepped on his.
He stepped on his foot.
I'm glad, John, but I thought I was the only one who saw it.
No. No, look, I watched the first 20 minutes of the match while Vic was away. And I was just sitting there going, is the ref watching the same game, first and foremost? Because, yes, Arsenal had a lot of fouls. They were fouling. I mean, obviously, it's a game. It's physical. But City were getting away with so many tackles, dude. Yeah.
But that's
fair,
our thing, though.
Foul,
That's our thing, yeah.
fine, no yellow card. And I'm like, how do you give a yellow card?
That's our thing. We make it look minimal.
Here's a question for you, Vic. All right, so you get the first yellow card. I can't remember who got the first yellow card for Arsenal, but it was one of the softest tackles I'd ever seen.
I think it was Thomas Partey.
Yeah,
I'm not
Partey,
mistaken.
it was
Thomas
Partey. I think it was
yeah.
just a bit of a drawback or a little bit of a shoulder barge to the back, and he went down.
Yeah, but
Yellow card.
going again, what I said, they changed the rules, so the contact thing is getting less and less.
But then you have
Shoulder to
someone.
shoulder is getting
Then you have
less and
someone like Rodri who goes right through the player from the side out, takes the player out. Not even a yellow card.
Nothing.
Just a talking to. Hey, I'm watching you. Just relax. We got this. I'll give you less yellow cards.
What a player.
You know, Rodri.
What a
Obviously, we all know.
player.
But I mean, guys, come on. Let's be honest. It really. I don't
Especially
think
for
the
you
refereing
guys.
was up to
It's
scratch.
going to be tough for
Not at
Liverpool
all.
too.
And one thing I didn't like, John, if you noticed in the game, every foul Arsenal commits, Man City is on the ref's case. All the players. You can
That's
go
something
back
that's
and
going
look
to
at
stop
it.
as well. That is going to be stopped. I can tell you now that this Premier League is not going to be the same as ever before, because the refs are going to have more say. They're going to have more power. And I mean, we don't want any referee who has so much power that he can say, you know what, I'll just give you 20 minutes extra to win the game.
the offside now.
Oh, I don't know. That's something we're going to obviously touch on, and I'm sure we will touch on it in weeks to come, because I can tell you now it's going to be debatable.
Definitely.
But as far as yesterday's match, I think it was watered down.
Yeah,
I really do. I don't.
Away, so.
It was very tactical. Yes, I agree with Ash on that one. Very tactical. You can see it's very cagey. The guys were trying to work on different tactics to outplay each other, but just that the intensity of the match was just not there.
It was literally a chess game against Atlanta.
Literally chess.
Yeah.
You know?
Definitely.
I mean, where City can probably say, yeah, but it was just a community shield. It's fine. We've lost 3 in a row. If he didn't care about it, then why did he celebrate so much? First and foremost.
You see what he said though? We lost 3 times in a row.
Yeah.
You know why?
Because we won the Premier League. Yeah, I know. I saw that.
I was like, whoa, where did that come from?
That's Pep, bro.
Yeah,
this is Pep. Right, so that wraps up the Community Shield. Let us know in the comments, guys. Let us know on the YouTube video as well what your thoughts were about the game. I know we had a few comments on the live yesterday as well, which were quite interesting to say. What else do we have there, Vic, before we get into some Premiership as well? We're obviously going to get Ashley's.
We basically know that City had a 5-win streak against Arsenal. Which got interrupted by that last game. You guys won with penalties. That's literally it.
Oh.
You sound so sad, bro.
It's not sad, but it's just like...
If you add in the league, doesn't it go to like 8 or 9 or what?
Yeah.
In all comps? Yeah, it goes to like 8 or 9.
But surely...
But it's 9 for 5 though, if you at all comps.
Okay, sure.
Damn. Any thoughts about that?
No, look, they've been the best team in England, you know, and Liverpool have been there with them over the years, you know, touch tight, keeping up with them. Last season it was us. Hopefully this season.
Same.
Yeah, I think, you know, I don't know if you're gonna agree with this, because I know I say a lot of debatable things on the show, but I said yesterday on the live as well, if Arsenal did not manage to win this game yesterday, do you think they would have had any kind of problem in their psyche for the next season? Because it's another title that they could have won.
Mentally, that's why I said earlier on.
That's what I'm saying. Mentally, would it have had an impact on them?
Definitely. Next time you play Man City, I'm speaking as a former player myself, you know you can't beat these guys. Like Vic just mentioned, 5-6 in a row, they beat
People hate going to them, bro. Etihad is not a place to go there and just run over them. It's the same as Anfield used to be. I don't know if Anfield's going to be that way this season. I'm hoping it is, but we all know what Anfield's history is. But I think that now when people actually go to the Etihad, it's not just to go play against the champions of England. You know, that it's just become a place where you don't really want to go. You get, the crowd is there now. Thankfully, the crowd is back. We had this conversation. Over the past few years, the crowd has become bigger. You were battling, let's be honest, you were battling for sell-out stadiums 2 seasons ago. They were winning Premier Leagues.
It was a
but the minute they got into a Champions League final, everyone knew that stadium was something else. No, I'm being honest.
Yeah.
It's the truth. I mean, Vic, you can agree, you can disagree, but that's how I saw it. You know, I mean, we obviously in any other teams, clubs are full.
Definitely.
You know, stadiums get filled up easily. One of the best stadiums to actually watch at the moment is Tottenham.
Bruh.
The stadium is rocking.
Especially that 5-1.
Did you see that game? And you see the result against Shakhtar Donetsk?
I didn't
Shakhtar,
see
the champions, basically. They are in the Champions League. Harry Kane scored 4 out of the 5-1 victory.
Kane.
So is that maybe him saying I'm staying, or is that him saying I can score goals, buy me?
That's him saying.
You never know.
That's him saying I still have the ability to score goals. So make of me what you want,
or pay the money and get me over. Because it's not no secret to anybody. Bayern Munich has come in. They are like, I think 20 mil short of what Spurs are looking for. But I'm not sure what the cutoff time was. I don't know if you can maybe check out that.
I don't think they fucking talking cuck about that, because they're not gonna have a cutoff time for Harry Kane.
The cutoff time for anybody is the end of August.
Definitely.
And I mean, believe that
there's no cutoff time for a player to be bought. August 31st, 1st of September actually is the cutoff date.
I do believe Harry Kane is 120 plus.
For me, they I think they will come back with a bigger offer.
They will.
They will.
They will. They're gonna break their banks. They're gonna pay the most they've ever paid to get Kane there.
The German league was actually a title race last season, and Bayern don't like that. Bayern don't
They
like
don't
a
want
title
it.
race. So
They don't want it.
I think that will be the piece to complete Tuchel's puzzle.
Yep.
That's what I think. From a coaching perspective, Mane wasn't for whatever reason.
Hey, look. I've seen a lot of news coming out because of Mane now. Obviously, going to Al Nassr and everything else. But there's also been an allegation of racism in Germany with regards to Mane himself. I'm not sure how true the allegations are, but I mean, apparently his PR team have come out and said the reason why he actually is leaving Bayern is because of the racism.
Oh.
You know, and that there is massive, dude. I mean, guys, it's Germany after all. They don't like. I mean, you know, it's just.
That's John View's guy.
Yeah, dude. But I mean, it's a fact, guys. I mean, a lot of African players that go there battle to play there, and it's not the form of the player, or it's not the club that they're at. It's literally just that cauldron of, I can't say hatred because it's not hatred, you know. But it's just that commentary. It's like that little bit of a, you know, inside,
small things,
you know, that little bit of a hint and a little bit of a nudge here and that kind of stuff. But that affects you as a player, and you don't want to be able to play in that situation.
Definitely.
You know?
For me, John, what I want to say is, do you think because Sane is German and it's in Germany?
Yeah, I think that's got something to do with it as well. I think that's got a massive amount of work to do about it as well. Obviously, with their spat and giving, you don't go around hitting Germans, bro.
In Germany, especially.
In their own hometown. How do you? I mean.
So maybe the club, I think, like I said, we can't confirm.
No, you can't. I'm just saying it's a rumor that's gone around. PR's come out and said that whether it's true or not, we can't. I mean, we all know it's tough to play in the Bundesliga as a player of color if you're not German, obviously.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're looking to increase their.
They will. No, they will.
Definitely.
Like I said, that window is not closed. There's no ways. There's no ways that window is closed.
Yeah, it's not closed.
Right, let's get to a bit of Dstv Premiership, guys.
Now, Vic's favorite.
Vic's favorite, absolutely. Vic, who played first on Friday?
F-off.
No, they're not in the league. I think they're in the last division.
Wasn't it the Kaizer Chiefs?
Yeah, no. Opening match.
Sundowns.
Okay. Mamelodi Sundowns against your Sekhukhune.
Farmers League.
All right, so that match ended 2-1 to Mamelodi Sundowns, and that's where he said, yeah, Farmers League. I saw his comments on my post. I saw it. I don't know if you watched. Did you watch the match?
I ended up not watching. the kickoff of the league.
Yeah.
For me, I knew that Sundowns were gonna. No disrespect to Sekhukhune, you know, they're trying their best over there, but Sundowns, you know.
Well, when you go down to 10 men after the 16th minute, you're not gonna beat Sundowns.
They go down to 10 men.
Yeah.
That doesn't help.
They had a penalty, or they got sent off on the 16th minute, and then Sundowns also had a red card in the 85th minute. Jeez. So it was quite a heated affair. I think that's really how I see it, because I mean Sundowns was 2-0 up. Then Sekhukhune scored in the 61st, and then the player got sent off in the 85th. So obviously after they got the first goal, they thought, maybe something's happening here. Maybe we just got to take one for the team here. You know?
Whose home ground was it?
Sekhukhune.
Oh, definitely.
Definitely. You know, it was obviously a heated affair. I've been taking the results over for the weekend. Obviously, we mentioned the matches last week on our first episode. We've had two draws in the opening fixtures. Okay, now that's something that we've all mentioned before. Now, that's something that maybe I'm guilty of not wanting to watch Premiership because of the teams being goal shy. Is that something that, I mean, you being a coach, obviously it's nice to have that kind of input with regards to local football. What do you think the major contribution is to the lack of goals in the Premiership?
It could be, you know, in the Premiership, there's not a thing like where we speak about in English football, you know, where coaches get those things where we can build a team and, you know, have a process, so to speak, you know. In the Premiership, you need to get things done now. So I think one of the draws was Chipper United against Kaizer Chiefs, if I'm not mistaken.
That was a boring game.
One of the games that I watched, and I actually posted on my
I also watched a little bit of that, to be honest.
I posted on my status that in the bigger scheme of things, it's actually a good point
It's
for
not a
Chipper
bad point for
United.
Chipper. Absolutely, our local team. Yeah.
So, when, especially from the beginning, you're playing against a bigger team, Kaizer Chiefs.
Yep.
They're not firing on all cylinders. It's the first game of the season. Some players might be rusty, Vic, so they're not going to open up, John.
Some of the teams have been firing on all cylinders, though. Supersport United 2-0.
Supersport, Gavin Hunt.
But then again, they took the nomads of the Premiership.
Yeah, sure.
Richards Bay, I mean, we all know the situation in Richards Bay. I mean, I'm sure you know what Richards Bay is going through at the moment. Last season being their first season, having to travel to Chatsworth every single game, it's uncalled for.
Like,
And that's the Premiership for you, though.
it takes its toll. Those type of things, you know, especially outside. Like I was mentioning with my club, Sibanya, you know, you try to, you know, make things more convenient for your own players, you know. That's how you're going to get the best out of them on the field.
Yes.
The moment you inconvenience them, and that's, you know,
Yeah, it takes a toll, man. Imagine
Yeah.
having to travel, I don't know how many kilometers it is, to Chatsworth for every match from where you are in Richards Bay. You know, they got to train at a high school. It's just so scary.
Degrading.
It's really scary. I mean, it's good PR for the school.
Yeah.
And it's good PR for the people around. Hey, you know, Richards Bay is training here. Let's go to the club, go check them out. But I mean, look, Royal AM, Amazulu 0-0. Golden Arrow Swallows 1-1. Another draw. Stellenbosch, I love this one.
Yeah.
This is the one I want to talk about. Right, so Stellenbosch, second season, and beating Orlando Pirates 1-0. Now,
Ash.
Antonio van Wyk scoring in the 42nd minute for Stellenbosch.
you know, I'm a Pirate supporter.
You're a Pirate supporter, that's why
I'm a
I
Pirate
mentioned this.
supporter.
Devil's advocate over here.
You know, for me, you know, when you're a Pirate supporter and,
Yeah.
you know, all the years that I've been watching you, you expect to win. Like Man United fans of the olden days, you expect to win every
Not in
game.
olden days, every day.
Yeah.
United fans have not changed, actually. Right, yeah, getting into this match, what do you see there? I mean, I've got some stats. 69% of the possession from Pirates. All right. 659 passes. All right. Which is exactly 400 more passes than Stellenbosch had in the game. All right. Now, what are your thoughts on that? Because, yeah.
Our coach is obviously, you know, European coach. I'm not sure if he's Spanish or Portuguese, one of the two.
Yeah,
I know
he's Spanish.
He's Spanish. One of our coaching staff in our technical team, they added a few more Spanish guys. So I know that looking forward into the season, we want to keep more possession, we want to have more passes. But at the end of the day, you know, like Pep always says, you don't want to just pass for no reason, you know. You need to
You've
move
got to
the
be able to get the
opposition.
opposition around, score
Yes.
goals. That's where it boils down to. I mean, he's come out. Jose Rivera has come out to say that the pitch was the contribution towards the loss. Now, we all know the quality of some of the pitches in the local game. I mean,
Africa,
guys, come
We're not
on.
looking for that.
We haven't got. Not every team can go play at Moses Mabhida Stadium. Not every team can go play at Cape Town Stadium. Can play at Nelson Mandela Bay. Now,
Definitely.
that is something that every team has to go play. Every single top team has to go play there. So is that going to be everyone's excuse?
I mean, as a coach even, you know, Vic, you would know the week before where
Yes.
you guys are playing.
Where you're playing,
and alter your
conditions.
preparation. So for me, I don't take that excuse. I don't take it. You know, as a coach myself, you know the field, you know the venue, you know how it is. You need to alter, and then you get the win. You
Yep.
understand? Maybe from next week on, you go back
Exactly.
to the possession play that you want to implement, but you can't use the pitch as an excuse. They played on the same pitch and they won the game.
I like that. I like the fact that you said that. TS Galaxy beating Cape Town Spurs 1-0. That was the own goal game that I was actually mentioning. 86th minute own goal by the defender.
Shame.
Cape Town Spurs unlucky with that one.
Happy to see them back.
Yeah,
Formerly Ajax Cape Town.
Yeah,
if I'm not
it's good to see
mistaken.
them back. If you look at the Dstv Premiership site, it's still got the Ajax Cape Town logo on it.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
I don't know what they
sadly, it still has that logo of Ajax Cape Town on the Cape Town Spurs.
I don't know what
Emblem.
their media managers are doing, but they're gonna have to sort
Yeah.
that out.
So Cape Town City 1-0 up against Polokwane City. That was the match that rounded up the weekend's action. A 92nd minute strike to win the match.
For what?
92nd
92nd
minute. So
minute.
extra time. It wasn't 101 minutes. But 92nd minute. And yeah, look, that's the roundup. Obviously now you've got a few teams that are up there already. And what do you think is really going to be the biggest thing to look out for in the coming weeks for the Premiership?
The coming weeks, I know that next week or the midweek games.
Yeah, I'm going to go into those. I'm going to get into those.
I know one of the headline fixtures for the midweek games, Vic. Swallows versus Sundowns.
That's a derby, okay.
It's a derby.
Chiefs Sundowns, buddy.
It's a Chiefs
and Sundowns, 3 p.m. Wednesday.
Oh, I thought it
Even
was
worse.
That's an even bigger derby.
Yeah. Swallows are playing Cape Town City on Wednesday.
Cape Town City.
Yeah.
Nice game.
First up is tomorrow, Tuesday. Well, today, because the podcast is out the same day. 5 p.m. Richards Bay, Golden Arrows. It's going to be a tough one for Richards Bay. They are playing in Chatsworth. They're at home. Home.
Okay.
And the evening game is Orlando Pirates up against Royal AM.
That's a nice.
We have to take.
I think Pirates will bounce back.
Another nice match.
Pirates will bounce back.
We'll have to. Royal AM, as I understand it, is in a rebuilding phase.
Yes.
So for us, we definitely have to take advantage. Get maximum points on the board, open our account for the season. Definitely.
Absolutely. That match, obviously, we mentioned Sundowns versus Chiefs, Vic.
I think we watched that one.
3 p.m. Wednesday.
3 p.m.
One thing about Sundowns. I've seen something in the news, and I'm not sure. I don't know if you know about this yet, Ash, or you've seen it in the news itself. Sundowns is busy with another massive deal. Another massive deal. I mean, they're already part of Rock Nation. We all know this because of the global aspect of it. They are now in talks with Red Bull as well.
Wow.
And we all know the size of Red Bull, guys. That's something that's come up now. Today, there was released that they are in talks with Red Bull to try and strike a deal with them as well for sponsorship. Now imagine Red Bull and Rock Nation. How do any of the teams in the league contend?
Exactly.
Well, that's what we call consolidating your power. They don't want to give it up.
We've got a better word for it. Farmers League.
Farmers League, is that? Is that how you call it?
I keep saying that. I mean, because it is a farmers.
It's like PSG in the League One. It's the same thing. No one else can compete financially with the guys. Swallows up against Cape Town City. That's going to be a decent match. Amazulu up against Supersport United. Supersport United looking quite solid for this
game. Gavin Hunt,
Gavin Hunt is a
world class coach.
Guy. Where is he in the Bafana fold, dude? When's he ever going to get a damn chance? Yeah, Chippa United up against TS Galaxy. Polokwane City up against Stellenbosch. And Cape Town Spurs up against Sekhukhune.
Is the Chippa game at home?
Chippa game is at home. 7:30 p.m.
We might have to pull through.
I think I really want to try and get hold of the guys at Chippa. Like we said in the podcast before, in pre-season and everything else before we went live with our shows, we really want to get invested with the local clubs. And I think Chippa will be a nice stepping stone for us to say, hey, let's get involved. Let's talk more about the matches you guys got coming up.
I'm not going to lie, the tickets are cheap as fuck. I think $80.
It's even less than that.
I remember going there, it was like $40.
Yeah.
Oh, that's decent.
And it's a midweek game, so it may be a lot less. I think that that's going to be a really, really great game. TS Galaxy, not a bad team either. I've seen some of the movement they've got going there. Polokwane City, Stellenbosch, that's going to be a tough one for Polokwane. Stellenbosch are looking solid.
Definitely.
I mean, you don't hold Orlando Pirates to go on a clean sheet.
Especially having less possession.
But then again, the pitch.
No, they know what they're doing there. It's Stellenbosch. They definitely know what they're doing. The setup, everything is spot on. Coach knows what he's doing. Highly organized.
Yeah.
And when a team is organized, it's harder for opposition to break them down. And if you're going to play in front of them, it's gonna make it even easier for them to do their job. Might hit you on the counter, get something, and then they'll just sit back again, let you play the ball on the halfway line.
Yeah.
Jose Mourinho style.
My name is Jose Mourinho. Yeah, no, absolutely. Vic, any transfer news that you can give us, like anything that's come up that that's really popped up? I know you guys have just signed Josko Guardiol from RP Leipzig. Fantastic signing, 21-year-old.
You know, the only thing that's popping up is just Hojlund and Jasper.
Jesus, we have to go there again. We've already had our say about
Chelsea
Hojlund.
just signing everyone at this point.
Who are they in for now
They're
again?
looking for what you call Brighton. Sanchez. They want Sanchez for
Damn.
some odd reason.
Another goalkeeper.
Another goalkeeper.
Where did Reyes go to?
What?
Reyes. David Reyes. Keeper.
Yeah.
Oh,
Where is he signed to now? I know he's been signed. Yeah, look,
I think he went to what?
look. There's still a full, just under 3 weeks left of the
Lot of
transfers.
movement.
There's a lot of movement still to be coming through. I can guarantee you that some of the bigger teams, City are still going to probably get another 2 signings in. They
Yeah,
are.
I think we're looking for Matoma. I don't like that.
you think so?
I don't. Yeah, it's in the talks, but I'm not really comfortable with that one because we have Cole Palmer, we have Foden, we have Grealish. Adding another person in the list, I don't think.
not
Just
on
to
the
replace,
left side.
you don't have to replace Morris at all.
Not really, because Foden can play on that side. If you saw yesterday, Bernardo.
And then
did-
Palmer on the backup.
Mm.
I know for a fact that we are definitely, as Liverpool, looking for more players. We need at least another 2.
At least a defender.
At least another 2. And I'll be honest with you saying this, we need a hybrid defender. We need someone who can play centre back and right back. Joe Gomez definitely looks at the second right back to me. I'll be honest with you, but we do need another CDM as well.
No, if Gomez is on form, he plays wonderfully.
Yeah, but the problem is fitness.
Yeah.
Yes.
he gets
He's
injured.
injury prone, and I mean if he's going to be playing 38 games as a right back,
No chance he's gonna.
there's no ways. There's no ways. There's no ways, and especially with Trent now being your deputy vice captain, he's going to be playing. There's no doubt. James Milner didn't play every game because he was old. His legs. I mean, he's brilliant. He still was passing the beep tests and all the rest. But I mean, your legs get tired. I mean, it's something at 37-year-old. You can't expect him to play 90 minutes in and out. This is not going to
I
happen.
also
With the,
think Arsenal needs to start buying more players.
Definitely. I think so. With Jesus out now, I do
you
think
need to get another striker. You cannot rely on Havertz.
Havertz or Nketiah. Personally, for me,
Nketiah had a good start. Yes, last season he had a decent run. Let's be honest. Before Jesus, when Jesus was injured last season, which is like becoming a current occurrence for you guys,
Everywhere, apparently.
Nketiah was literally your main guy. He was scoring goals for fun.
I think Ateta dropped him in March.
When Jesus came back,
But I think Nketiah started off well. Started off well in the beginning, just after the World Cup. Then he dried up. I think he had 1 goal in 8 games.
yeah, but also Jesus was coming back. So I mean that already tells Nketiah as a player, being a 21-year-old, whatever how old he is, I'm not going to get game time. I need to prove myself even more. That's what he should have done. But I mean, you got someone like Jesus has been bought to score goals. He's been brought in to be the main striker. You know, he's come from a team like City. He's had success. You don't just bump him out of the team if he's fit. So that there already plays on a player's psyche as a young player. I think that might have been part of the reason for Nketiah. I love Nketiah. I think he's a brilliant player. I mean, he's come out leaps and bounds over the past 2 seasons where I've seen him play. So I think that could have been the problem, but I do think you guys need another striker as well.
My only fear with Nketiah now is with Jesus out. Like, for me, can he lead us where we want to be? You know, I think now after last season, for me, John, I think we should be aiming with Man City. And for me, does he lead us and take us, you know, in the top 2 or 3, be Liverpool or whoever there? For me,
Sure, look.
he
If
can
you look
win
at
games.
Arsenal's front three opposed to Liverpool's front three, and the options we've got in the front, you guys are lacking.
Yeah, especially.
And I'm not just saying that because I'm a Liverpool supporter. If you look at the 5 players that Liverpool have got, they all are hungry, and they're all scoring, or assisting.
Well, I know Salah's going to get his 20 goals this season.
Well, he missed it out. He missed out by one last season. Let's see if he can get it this season. Pre-season, he's only scored 1 goal. But he's got 5 assists.
I know Salah.
Yeah, Salah.
So, Mo's looking very hungry. Fair enough. The one player that's looking really good in pre-season is Gakpo. I'm loving Gakpo at the moment. He is playing fantastically well. But I do think that Nunes will be our first choice striker. That's just he's been scoring in pre-season, and he's looking like he's more comfortable now. He's settled in. He's even speaking English to the boys, which is a fantastic thing to hear. He's like, "Good morning, thank you," But I mean, that is something. That is something I think that Arsenal are going to have to look at getting another striker. City. They've got Alvarez, they've got Haaland. They don't even need anybody else. Really.
I don't think we.
I would like
Although,
some midfielders. Yes.
The question that we've all got, and everyone's been saying this, and I know that it's absolute rubbish. Haaland, is he going to repeat what he did in the first season?
Yeah, that's tough. It's tough to say, actually.
I mean, he may not emulate exactly the same, but is he going to score 30 plus goals again in the Prem?
But he does look hungry.
For me,
the game against Arsenal, he did look like he wanted some goals.
He definitely did, and I could see he was disappointed to come off.
Yeah.
For me, I would say
it's a tough one.
I would agree with you, John. He might not repeat it, but he will be. I mean, Salah's been doing it for 5, 6, 7 years.
Yeah,
now.
they all said Salah was a one-hit wonder in the first season, and he got over 40 or something goals in the season. I can't see him not repeating it. I can't not see Haaland scoring 30 plus in the Prem.
Especially having like KDB behind you, especially now with Kovacic.
Think about it this way: Kovacic had a blaster yesterday. He played flipping well. I mean, yes, that one run he went into the box and just carried on running. He was back to his Chelsea days and didn't finish it again. And I think that is the problem with the players that have. I mean, it's not a problem, but it is a bit of a concern with the players that have come from a place like Chelsea. That, let's just face it, Chelsea was crap last season.
Definitely.
And the reason, hopefully this season, yes. As Victor said in episode 1, he's hoping they flop so he can give him some grace. I mean, I just stick on United. This is what we do. But I think that having the players coming from a club like Chelsea, either they're gonna improve your gameplay, right? Because they want it, they're hungry to succeed. Or they're going to have the same mentality they had at Chelsea and not being able to finish off whatever they start. Now, that's the concern that I've got, not just with Arsenal, but I mean with any team that's, you guys have got Kovacic.
Yeah.
I think if Kovacic really switched on yesterday, he could have actually laid it off for somebody to tap that goal in.
But I think it's too early for him. He hasn't connected with some players yet. I haven't seen a relationship with some players, especially with him and Rodri. He wasn't even touching the goal. It was always with him and, Kanji or going with Grealish. Nothing with Rodri. So
I think him and Grealish will have a good connection. Grealish, I've said enough about I've said enough about the boy. No, not even about that aspect. I think that put everything aside. He's diving or whatever the case may be. He is and still will be probably one of the best signings that City have done. And when he was bought for 100 mil, everyone was like, "What the hell are you guys doing?" But
now it's making sense.
The second season has really showed you this is why we spent 100 mil. There's no one that and I'll be honest with you, I'm not a massive City supporter. I'm not, but I mean he'll tell you that I can respect the way they play because of Pep and the team that they've got. But there are certain players in that team that I would take any day to any club, and he's definitely one of them because of the way he plays.
Just coming back to that point, Vic, when I look at things, from a coaching perspective, like you said, we signed obviously Havertz from Chelsea.
Yes.
He didn't have too good of a game. You have Kovacic from Chelsea. When you come from a team that had, a bad season like that, the atmosphere, the environment that it
can
comes
either
from.
go two ways.
So now you go to Arsenal, Man City respectively, the top two of last season, 15, 20 wins for the season. So you come into a high intensity, you're coming into, a winning culture.
Yeah.
So when you come in, it's going to take you a bit of a while to adapt because you're coming from a team where now the bare minimum maybe was fine, and that's why you guys were in that position before. Now you're stepping into a new team, and your teammates, not even the coach itself, the teammates might not even allow you to, you need to live that performance up in training, like we say in northern areas, you know,
Yep.
you know, you need to get your ass in gear, and these things are not allowed here. So you step into the high performance cultures, you know, Liverpool, Man City, Arsenal. The teams coming from lower down, the players coming from lower teams, they will need to, you know, step
Adapt.
up. And for me, I would say give him a few more weeks. Kovacic and
Because he is
Havertz.
that player.
Let's see how they adapt to this culture, because you know there's definitely a
Look,
winning culture.
There's no doubt in either the two players' is qualities. We've seen what Havertz has done for Chelsea. We've seen what Havertz has done for his national team. We've seen what Kovacic has done in Chelsea. If it wasn't for them both, I don't think Chelsea would have been in the league. And that's a big statement.
Especially the Champions League.
You don't think so?
Yeah, I don't think. If Havertz wasn't there,
Listen,
I don't think they would have won that match.
They would not have won the Champions League without him. That's a big statement to make, yes. But take those two players out now. Now you have someone like Sterling, who left City, who left Liverpool for City, left City for Chelsea, and he had the worst season ever.
I hope Arsenal isn't on his radar.
He's next.
Hell no.
Next. No, but I mean, he's just slithering his way, you know, slithering. But I think that's a concern, and it's something that should be looked at. Obviously, as you say, yes, they're coming from that environment. They're not used to, especially not last season, not used to winning.
Yeah, big teams.
You know.
Not used to high performance.
And I mean, let's be honest. When you're losing and you're not winning, you're just drawing or you're losing. Any stadium can be a very lonely place for you to play in, because your crowd doesn't get behind you. They get in front of you and say, "Hey, start booing your own players." You know, managers out, Potter out, all that kind of stuff. Now that day alone plays to a person's psyche.
Yeah, but luckily for him, he doesn't have a lot of pressure on him. It wasn't like Jasko. Jasko has a lot of pressure, especially now because he's 21. If we bought him for 72, that's a lot for a 21-year-old.
Especially for a centre back.
Yeah. So that's a lot of pressure coming from Jasko.
It's almost as expensive as Maguire.
Like he can slowly but surely get there. Because with this drop-offs, I don't think his passes, like his dispersions are
Guardiola is an enforcer.
Yeah, he'll turn him into...
He's a machine. There's not much to do with him. He's a complete player. Let's just be honest here. He's a solid flipping player.
Now you have him, you have Diaz, Akanji. I'm like, what is man? Like he's not saying Farmers League now.
So listen. It's parking the bus, but not parking the bus.
But what I love about Pep, he said that it's not for now. It's not for the season next. It's for the future. So what he's planning is kind of smart, because he's turning a young team into like a big team in a way.
Is he gonna be there?
That's the concern, though, because 72 million for 2 years, that's crazy. You see, so he might leave, I don't know.
I'm talking about Pep, I'm talking about Guardiola.
No,
Pep is definitely going to stay.
Pep gonna be there for 2 seasons still.
Definitely going to stay.
2 seasons more.
Yeah, he's definitely.
His contract runs out when? 2025.
Yeah.
Is he gonna renew?
You think he's gonna extend?
Most definitely.
I think he's gonna go back to Barca.
Before
But anyway,
not now though.
Actually, you know what? Here's a last little scenario for you. So Messi went to MLS, right? I think Guardiola's going to MLS when he's finished with City.
You think he's going over?
I think he wants to dominate Premier League for now.
He's dominated already. In fact, how much more hungry can you
Ferguson
get?
did, like Alex Ferguson did.
You can't get to Ferguson's.
You can actually.
No, you can't.
You think
Currently,
he's gonna stay
with
for
the motion
20?
he's moving at, you might probably can.
Do you think he's gonna stay for 28, 29
I don't
seasons?
think
Exactly my point.
He'll probably stay for like 3 years. Then
Another 3 more seasons.
That's what I'm saying.
I would be surprised if he makes 10. Like, is it 10 this year or is it 10 next year?
Nah.
No, dude.
10,
No.
2025. Yeah.
Is it 2025?
Yeah, look, no. 2026.
8.
He came in 16, didn't he?
Did he come in 16?
Yeah, he came a season before, after Klopp.
Kyle Walker, basically.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, Klopp's almost the longest running manager at the moment with one club. At the moment, in the current form.
I would have loved to be honest, I would have loved to see him have the budget that Pep has.
Jesus,
not
yeah,
to spark the debate.
We've had this discussion.
Not to spark it.
No.
He's amazing,
He is.
on his own.
But if you had, if you gave Klopp
Mm.
the same budgets that Pep has had over the seasons, it would have been a different ball.
But the thing is, I don't think a lot of people would have watched Premier League if Klopp and Pep had the same budget.
You don't think?
We'd know what the title race would be.
But we've already been showing you out the budget. It was a 2-horse race for seasons. But yeah, look, that's a debate all on its own. Ash. Absolutely, we've had this discussion before. We don't even mention oil money anymore because it's just.
Because Man United are just showing us.
Apparently,
that oil, you can do anything.
Listen, Man United, that sheikh, I don't know what his name is, but apparently his final bid of 6 billion has been put through. So who knows in a few weeks from now.
Apparently, they already have a allegation with him. Another charge.
On what?
FFP.
On what?
Yeah, FFP.
For what?
Already. I don't know.
For playing terrible football.
Because they're going to 1 billion soon. If they sign another player, it's 1 billion.
No. Chelsea is not Man United. Man United have spent, like I said to you before, like in the week, Erik ten Hag has spent more money in the season and a bit, and off-season now, than Klopp has spent in the 7 years he's been in Liverpool.
I saw that stat.
Now, that there is already a scary fact. Chelsea have spent 1 billion. They spent 600 plus last season.
They're still buying.
They spent more this season. They're going to go over 1 billion in 2
they're still
seasons.
buying.
Burnley's got money to waste.
But it makes sense if this season they took control of the Premier League. If they don't, that's why I keep saying if they don't, it would
They're
be,
not gonna.
Yeah, it'd be crazy.
I highly doubt
They
it.
can't.
But you
I don't
can't,
see
you
them
can't buy
finishing-
players and not.
I don't see them
dominate.
finishing above Man City. I don't see them finishing above Arsenal. I don't see them finishing above Liverpool.
Top 4.
Honestly.
I don't see them in the top 4 either.
Europa,
Yeah.
alongside Man United.
If Spurs keep going, they'll struggle to finish. They'll be competing with Spurs. For me.
Spurs, Spurs looking dangerous. But hey, I know we got another episode coming up. I'm not sure what we are at the moment. You know,
It's a decent time.
yeah.
Okay.
So great episode, Ash. I want to say thank you for coming onto the show. You know, just sharing a little bit of information. I'd like to have you on, put up more on our first episode of the week.
Basically like a match day analysis.
Yeah, look, I think giving the local feel, you know, bringing your local team's results and stuff onto the show as well as wrapping up, Dstv Premiership for the week. I think that's going to be a really cool fixture. If you're keen for that, that'll be great. I got nothing more to say from our side, guys.
I just want to finish up by saying, thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, man.
Thanks for welcoming me on the show. For the viewers, thanks for having me.
Yeah, man.
Share the subscribe, share. Is that what they say?
Yeah. Definitely listen to Ashley. He knows what he's talking about. Let him coach you.
Coach Ash.
Vic, anything from your side before we wrap it up, bro?
Don't forget to like and subscribe. Click that post notification button and peace.